Rachel, in 2008, we saw the bottom kind of fall out of our economy, and a lot of it went back to what we don't know about money. Yes, there were some things in play, kind of above our heads, but you know, having a mortgage sit in front of you, I just sign the papers and go whatever, right?
Yes.
How many of us really understand what interest means and things like that? So, as parents, we probably have to push the reset button to make sure our kids don't fall into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Teaching our kids and the next generation how to handle money is huge, because I believe you don't have to make devastating mistakes with your money to learn how to handle it well. And my parents, I was actually born the year they filed for bankruptcy. So mom and dad were, you know, at the bottom of the bottom when I was born.
I'll never forget that story.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so coming out of that, I know the pain that debt causes families. I know the hurt that it can, but you could heal from that. So I tell parents all the time, don't let your past mistakes hinder these conversations in the present.
All right, so with kids, oftentimes we have the argument with parents of saying, yes, when they get good grades or do their homework or clean their room, we give them an allowance. And then people will say, well, now wait a minute, that's what they should do.
Right,
so you shouldn't be getting money for what you should do. It's the above and beyond.
Yeah, well, there's a balance here. So I think some parents take it to two extremes. One, they just give their kids money because they are breathing, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other parents that say, well, I'm not going to pay you for anything. So I think there's a balance here, because what you want to create in your home is teachable moments with your children.
Yeah.
And attaching the idea that money comes from work, money doesn't come from mom and dad's back pocket, is key.
Yeah.
So sure, if there are, you know, if you take your dishes to the sink, if you help feed the dog, if you do little chores around the house, we are going to reward you with money, because we want to teach you not only how to earn money, but how to handle that money that you've earned.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. There's some things that you do because you're part of the family. Yeah. And then there's some things
like
that you
feed
can.
them.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So, but the key is, like you said, talk about money. And
Yes.
I was so frustrated with my son the other day, and I wanted to show him this relationship. And so he wants this particular costume.
Yes.
And I said, well, maybe I can sell something so I can get the money for it. He was shocked. He goes, you can't afford it? I go, well, no, not right now. And he's like, Mom, don't sell your stuff. I was like, are you sure? I just wanted him to understand that you can't have everything you lay your eyes on.
Absolutely.
And there's sacrifice sometimes, a lot of times connected with the things that you buy, even the things you need.
Yes.
Okay. We talk about money, and then also all those things like save money. How many of you always say, oh, yeah, I'm going to save money? I'm going to save. And then you blinked, and 40 years later, you still haven't really saved money, right?
I know.
So when you do save money, save like you mean it.
That's right. And this is difficult, because just like you said, we all know we should, but it's hard to do. So that's why I always tell people that, you know, when you're doing a budget, it needs to be at the top of your budget. I believe in giving first, saving second, paying your bills third. You have to make it a priority, because a lot of people say, well, after I finish paying all my bills, I don't have any money to save. I'm like, yeah, that's because you have your budget upside down.
Yeah.
You have to make it a priority.
Yeah. All right. And you said, and give a little. You said that's the other.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. It's one of the habits in the book, is give a little until you can give a lot. Giving changes not only what you're giving to, but it changes you, because you're moving from being a selfish person to a selfless person.
Right.
And selfless people in our world today are beautiful people. There's not a lot of them there.
Yeah.
But when you can create that in a character and who you are through opening your hand and giving money, it changes you.
Think before you spend. In fact, you go to the point of saying don't spend yourself broke, but think before you spend. And that sounds like a very simple thing, but oftentimes we're motivated by emotional buying.
Absolutely. The spontaneous, or, you know, driving around the Starbucks drive-thru a few times, or walking into Target, you know, it's just like the black hole of goodness. Right? I mean, you walk in Target, it's like, I can just spend money here all the time. And so it's just being disciplined and using your brain and not emotion. And even if you're going to buy something expensive, I say wait overnight. Go home, go to sleep, wake up, and take that emotion out of your purchasing, because it will save you money.
I know. I am on security cameras all over the city, especially in the department stores. Like I was at Dillard's the other day, so I'm walking around the store.
Yes.
I will find something I like.
Yes.
I walk around with it, and I walk around with it, and at some point I go, what am I doing? I don't need this.
That's
right?
it. I know.
Or I feel like I already own it, and I'm putting it back on the on the shelf.
That's right. That's
I have a very big Dillard's closet, right? But anyway, so just walk around and think about it. And that's what I do. Do I really, really want this?
Yeah, exactly. And it's okay to have some nice stuff. I'm not against people buying, going Dillard's and spending some money. That's totally fine. But making sure it's in your budget, which that's going to be your limit there. That's going to be your boundary, which is great. But also using our brain.
Yeah.
Brain.
And I talk about that emotional part. How many times do we feel like if we get a gift for somebody that it shows how much we like them?
Yes.
And then we come around the holiday time, how many times people go into debt because you want to prove that you love your kids.
Right.
But that's not what it's really all about.
No, not at all. TIME. That's what kids want, honestly. If we're talking about that relationship with parents, spend time with your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, really, turn off the TV, put down the phone, spend time, because that's what they're going to remember. I mean, I can't tell you what I got at Christmas when I was 8, 9, 10, 11. You know, I don't remember
That you had to have, but, but you know, an hour later
exactly.
you're
And
done.
if you have the money to bless your kids during Christmas, that's great. But don't go into debt, because the January you will hate the December you when the bills start coming in.
And you'll hate it the next December when you're still paying
That's
on
right.
that minimum.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So just learning all that information. So your book, Love Your Life, Not Theirs.
Yes.
That means you control your own money. You control what your own image of what happiness and things are.
That's right. Forget the Joneses. Put yourself back in the driver's seat of your life and your money and decide, this is what my family values. This is what we're doing.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.